This is the Angels Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Angels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello, Halo Nation. Hello, Halo hopefuls, and welcome back to the latest edition of the Locked On Angels Postcast, coming at you live, as always, after every single Angels game, and especially a victory like today, right here on the Locked On Angels YouTube channel, and after the fact, both on the channel and wherever you get the Locked On Angels audio podcast feed. If you don't know who I am, what's going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson, former credentialed journalist in the LA area with the Daily Bruin, and now in year not one, but two, with the Locked On Podcast Network, where it is your team every day. Our team is the Angels, and boy, oh boy, did we need the return of Zach Neto and this win. Angels against a really, really good SF Giants team, and they pick up a 2-0 win in the return of the Big A after that 9-game road trip that did not go as planned. 2-0 the win. Tyler Anderson, fantastic. But of course, the story, the return of Zach Neto, and he came through right away. Before I tell you about that amazing start to this ball game, first and foremost, shout out to everybody in here. I know yesterday's show was a little bit crazy with the tech issues. I know today coming in a little bit late, but shout out to everybody in here. The usuals: Nathan, Newbie, Jack, Matthew, Angel Antonius, TFL, Vinny, the whole gang. Vinny in here saying, Gavin the GOAT, I appreciate it. W Gavin incoming. Shout out to everybody in here. Leave a like, comment, all that good stuff as always. But first and foremost, I have to shout all of you out. Now, let's not waste any time, all right? We're going to get right to it. Everyone's favorite segment, it's the turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Yes, and of course, the biggest turning point was before this game started with the return of Zach Neto. But boy, oh boy, did that turning point become ever more clear when in the bottom of the second inning, who else comes up with two out and 2 strikes, 2-2 count, and a runner on second base? Who else comes up but the man himself in his first at-bat in the return? Zach Neto. And what does he do? 2-2 pitch from Logan Webb, who had a fantastic outing. We'll get to the fact that this Angels lineup was not that great today, but all of that is ignored because in this moment, on a 2-2 pitch, Logan Webb leaves the changeup a little bit higher than he wants on 2-2. It's right above the knees, and Neto rips it. 106.4 exit velo right at Willy Adames. Unfortunately for the Angels, Adames not able to make this play. Sean Newell comes all the way in from second base. I say all the way in because Sean Newell's not the quickest, but Sean Newell comes in from second base to score, and Neto goes to second with a bang-bang double. Now, the reason this play is not only so needed in this game, obviously you win this game 2-0. Both runs were much needed, and obviously the return of Zach Neto, it being him, is great, right? But this play and this return and him coming through in this moment, it symbolizes what Zach Neto means to this team and this franchise. I was saying it at the end of last year, and it's not like I was the only one saying this. The Angels have 2 clear alphas in terms of the future of this franchise. It's Zach Neto and it's Logan O'Hoppe. I would argue that Jose Soriano is in that mix as well. I know some people are hoping that eventually Ben Joyce will be in that mix as well, right? But in terms of everyday field players in critical positions that you like to have there locked up for 15 years in O'Hoppe and Neto, we know those are the 2 guys, right? But what makes Neto different from O'Hoppe is that, how do I describe it? I'm going to say it, okay? That aura. O'Hoppe is kind of the silent assassin, right? He's not the most outgoing, crazy guy. He's a great guy, right? Great guy. I'm sure he's the hardest worker. He comes through in the biggest moments. He's the ultimate competitor. No one is harder on themselves when they don't come through than Logan O'Hoppe, right? But he's kind of that quiet assassin, not like a flashy player in any sense, right? Zach Neto is more of the vocal leader, the Energizer Bunny, right, of this team. And so it's so fitting that when he comes back, there's already a vibe around the team of when the vibes couldn't have been any lower. The team morale couldn't have been any lower. You're coming off 4 straight losses. You're coming off a 1-5 stretch against your 2 AL West rivals. You're coming off a road trip of 9 games where clearly you're running out of gas. No Ben Joyce there, needing Zach Neto back badly. I mean, when there's people posting pictures of him landing in the airport and people are getting excited over that, you know this team needs him, right? You know this team needs him. And so for him to come back and immediately not only come through literally in the sense of having the biggest swing of the game, arguably, but also fitting his, role with this team as he is the Energizer Bunny. He is the vocal leader, the emotional leader, and the productivity leader as well at the end of last season. And now already starting off the gate very quickly here, right? So it was just so perfect, so fitting that Zach Neto comes through in this moment. And it would have been great regardless if with him coming through in this moment, first at bat, first ball in play, and it's hit as hard as you can hit a ball, right? But it meant so much more because of how horrible this Angels team was the rest of the game in terms of this lineup and hitting the baseball. But fortunately, Zach Neto comes through, certainly the turning point for so many reasons. Shout out to the Big A, 40K again, 40K plus sellout after that brutal road trip. Best fan base in baseball, able to fill the building like that, right? But he comes in, he does his job, and then fortunately, the next at bat, Kyron Paris. There are miracles in baseball, and Matt Chapman making a critical error to give up a run is a miracle. Kyron Paris comes up, hits a weak grounder to third, kind of in between third and short. Adames probably would have made the play. I mean, Kyron Paris is fast, and so once again, when you have speed on the bases, Kyron Paris, it adds some chaos to the at bat, obviously, and to the ball in play. Chapman feels the need to rush it and go get it instead of letting Adames get it. It goes off his glove. Neto's able to score from second. And again, shout out to Neto again for getting to second base on that line drive base hit the previous at bat. Because of those two things, the Angels go up 2-0, and boy, oh boy, did they need it. Because other than that, this lineup, it was brutal. The Angels win the game despite having 5 hits. The Angels win the game despite 12 strikeouts from Logan Webb. 12 strikeouts, no walks. Again, another game where this team, the walk to strikeout ratio, it's been brutal all road trip and now today as well. And so huge concern there, certainly huge concern. But again, that Zach Neto swing, his return, it means so much more because of how the rest of the game went. I have to give a quick shout out to Joe Adell. I mean, 3 for 3 in the 9-hole. Certainly did not expect that. But other than Joe Adell's 3 for 3 and the hits from Shanuel and Neto, no other hits. No other hits in this ballgame. No other base runners other than the Kyron Paris reaching on an error. So, fortunately, you win the ball game, and we'll get to the other main reason why you won this ball game after the break. But let's not act like this team put forth a W performance outside of those 2 swings, that lucky error, and what Tyler Anderson did on the mound. But we will certainly take it. The moral of the story is when you're coming off a 4-game losing streak, when you're down in the dumps, when you go from 8-4 to 9-9, you want to win however you can get it, and especially against a good baseball team in the Giants. So you will take the win. You will take the fact that your man returned and instantly got it done, and you will shut up and you will hope that you can improve upon this performance now that the vibes are high in Game 2 of this series. Now I'm going to take my break here, and when I come back, we're going to talk about Tyler Anderson because other than that swing from Neto, other than the error, he's the reason we won this ball game without a doubt. We'll talk about him, and we'll look forward to the rest of the series after our break here on what a victory edition of the Locked On Angels Postcast. I'll be right back. Now, today's show is brought to you by Upwork. Scaling your business requires the right expertise at the right time. With Upwork, you can find specialized freelancers in marketing, development, design, and more, experts ready to help you take your business to the next level. Upwork gives businesses flexibility by connecting them with top freelance talent across multiple industries, including IT, AI, web development, and marketing. Whether you need extra hands for a project or a long-term partner, Upwork makes hiring simple and affordable. Finding the right talent is easy. If you need help with a marketing campaign, Upwork can connect you with a freelance expert who delivered incredible results. Posting a job is free and simple, and within a day, with multiple qualified candidates will be available to choose from. And instead of hiring full-time, Upwork helps find affordable top-tier freelancers to scale businesses efficiently. And also, as a recent college grad who works multiple jobs in the sports industry, which isn't the easiest to get into, I'm always pro something that it makes hiring easy. So visit Upwork.com right now and post your job for free. That's UPWORK.com, Upwork.com, to connect with top-tier talent and grow your business today. And today's show is also brought to you by our good friends at Supply House. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trade, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for the trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Back here live on this victory edition of the Locked On Angels Postcast. Coming at you live, as always, on the Locked On Angels YouTube channel and after the fact, wherever you get the audio podcast feed. We already talked about the return of Zach Neto. How could we not? We needed his return. We were hoping that his return would lead to a win, and it did. And like I said, in addition to him coming through with the biggest hit of the game, the biggest swing of the game, the fact that he did so in such a fitting way with his leadership style, with what he means to this franchise, being the energy for this team, it was huge. Michael in here with a very interesting comment saying, Gavin, O'Hoppe isn't flashy on the field, but he's a leader with the media. He's the guy who's always available post-game. He's on Foul Territory and Angels Weekly regularly. Exactly. And the reason he is because, anything I said there about Zach Neto was not a dig at O'Hoppe in any way, right? He is a great leader, right? And he's well-spoken, and he's perfect, right? He's not going to say anything wrong, which is why he's on all those shows. The Angels know that he is a great face for the team. He is cool, calm, collected at all times. Even more so maybe than Neto. Neto might give you an occasional quote where he says something, not out of pocket or anything, but he's just a little more polarizing in the sense that he's a fired up guy. O'Hoppe is as cool, calm, and collected as it gets. And so, yeah, that's why they're a perfect 1-2. It's like in I don't even know how to describe it. It's like when you've got a backfield in football and you've got a guy who's the flashy running back and the guy who gets the nitty gritty yards on 3rd and 1, right? That's kind of the way they lead in terms of one guy is going to be the consistent guy getting you 2 yards when you need 2 yards. And the other guy is going to have a breakaway run. In terms of energy and what they contribute, O'Hoppe is going to be that consistent guy. Neto's going to be that kind of up and down guy. So that was kind of a weird analogy, I'll be honest, but that's kind of a way you see it, right? In terms of how the two are different leaders. Shout out to everybody in here. Yeah, Seth in here saying Neto is the emotional leader. Angels win. Says, we must win this series. Neto is clearly the Angels leader for the future. Love all the comments as always. W. Baldwin saying the Giants must hate Jansen. Certainly they do. And yes, real Marco Pro with the clear comment of the day. We got to clean up those Ks. Absolutely we do. But with all that being said, we have to jump into the other favorite segment on this show. And there's no doubt what this is going to. It is.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
It's our boy Tyler Anderson. And now, some people don't know, but on this show, the player of the game, it can be for either team. It can be for the Giants in this case or the Angels. And Logan Webb certainly had a player of the game level performance. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, just 2 runs, only one of them earned, the other one coming on that Matt Chapman error. And he struck out 12 freaking batters, man. He had 12 strikeouts through 6 innings. Absurd. He was in the double digits through 5. And this is a guy in Logan Webb who's not even a strikeout pitcher primarily. Obviously, one of the more underrated starting pitchers in all of baseball. All-star last year. He's been so consistent for the Giants. When guys like Matt Cain and Madison Bumgarner leave the rotation, and he just kind of filled in despite not being expected to be that guy. And he's been so consistent for them, a perfect ace for them. And in many ways, he's kind of what I want Jose Soriano to one day become for this Angels team. A guy who's going to, be a weak ground ball hit pitcher, sinkers, sweepers, or knuckle curves, whatever you want to call it, outside, sinkers inside, at the hands, below the knees, bunch of ground balls, throwing in the changeup. And Logan Webb was dealing with all that stuff, right? If it wasn't a strikeout, it was a weak ground ball. It was I mean, one of the runs was on a weak ground ball, and the other one was ripped by Zach Neto, but it still wasn't a home run or anything like that, right? So that's exactly the type of pitcher I hope Jose Soriano can become for this team going forward. But enough about him. We have to talk about the actual player of the game who won up Logan Webb's performance, and that is Tyler Anderson, who has been absolutely on one to start this season. Today, he goes 6 innings, gives up just 3 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, and this is a Giants lineup that's been pretty hot, right? Obviously, Jung-Ho Lee has been fantastic this season, and he still was today, 2 for 3. He's hitting 361, the OPS over 1,000, and he gets on via the walk. So three of the 5 base runners against Logan Webb are Jung-Ho Lee, right, with those 2. But outside of that, just 1 hit from Ramos, 1 hit from Fitzgerald, and nothing really else going for the Giants in this ball game. Absolutely love to see it. Just 4 hits, 3 of them against Tyler Anderson. And for him, this was really one of those starts where you felt comfortable. It felt like Tyler Anderson at the beginning of last year. There was never really any nerves. The Giants were never really cooking anything, to be honest. They only went 0 for 2 with runners on scoring position. Didn't really have many opportunities in this game because Tyler Anderson, the only question with him is he doesn't have the velocity. The control has to be perfect, or else you get worried that a hanging changeup or a fastball at 88 miles an hour down the zone is going to get hit out. Today, the control was perfect. He got him called third strikes. He had swing and a miss strikes. He had plenty of weak contact in this one. So consistent. And one thing that people are forgetting in this start, whether it's because of all the things that have happened this season, the Kyron Paris streaks, the Mike Trout streaks and struggles, the return of Zach Neto, all that. One of the storylines has to be that Tyler Anderson, despite being number 4 in the rotation this year, is quietly having a start to the season that is even better than his all-star campaign last year. Through 4 starts, 2-0. The ERA is 2.08. A 1.06 whip. He's got 21 strikeouts in 21 2/3 innings. And in the last few games, he's been darn right perfect. I mean, in this game, 6 innings, gives up just 3 hits. But how about the previous 2 games as well? In Houston, obviously the series didn't go well. And in a park where we normally struggle, he gave up 1 hit in 5 2/3 innings. Yes, he did have 4 walks. Yes, he walked the bases loaded, but he got out of that. He didn't give up a run. He gave up 1 hit in 5 2/3 innings. Oh, in the game before that against the Guardians, 5 innings, 1 hit. Yes. Did he have 4 walks? Did he give up a home run? Did he end up having 2 earned runs? Sure. But in the last 3 starts, Tyler Anderson has given up a combined 5 hits. 5 hits in 16 2/3 innings. 5 hits. He's been absolutely dialed in. And I think he'll get the walks under control. I mean, 10 walks in the last 3 games, certainly higher than you want. He's not a strikeout guy. You just need him to, obviously tone the walks down, but he's been about as good as you could ask for. And with him being your 4, it's great. It's great. I think maybe an argument could be made that you move him ahead of Kohanowitz right now. I think that would present an interesting rotation in the sense that you're going to go lefty and Kikuchi, righty and Soriano, lefty and Anderson, righty and Soriano, right? Kind of a cool thing you can do there, alternating the hands, keeping the opposing managers on their toes in terms of forming a lineup each series. And also Tyler Anderson is just pitching better than Kohanowitz right now. You could argue he's pitching better than anybody on the Angels, and it's probably the correct argument, right? So Tyler Anderson deserves so much credit in a game where he wasn't getting much run support. The fact that he got it early makes it easier for him. We talk so much how the Angels starting pitchers are always pitching in 0-0 ball games or in a deficit, right? And so to finally have a game where by the 3rd inning, Anderson's already pitching with the lead while being on having his A stuff, it was just a perfect combination. Now, finally, I don't want to end the show on a low note, but we do have to talk about some particular guys struggling. We already talked about the team as a whole, 12 strikeouts, no walks, just 5 hits as a team. But there's certain guys that you have to get really, really concerned about, and none other than Mike Trout. I mean, this was about as bad as a performance as you could have. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, just not coming through. And it's getting concerning, right? Neto comes in and in his first game already makes an argument that he should be hitting 3rd, period, right? He's the perfect 3 hitter, going to give you that combination of contact and power and consistency in terms of not striking out that much, gives you that speed aspect and also that extra base hit ability. I think he's the best on the Angels team in terms of extra base hits in the last year or so. So I think Neto at 3rd, you can make an argument he's ready now to be there. And I know he only had 1 hit, but that's where he was cooking at certain parts of last year. Rengifo quietly has been really struggling. 0 for 4, he's hitting 229. Taylor Ward in the leadoff spot. Maybe that bit of flair and early success there is already running out. 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts for him. I mean, but just look at this. In terms of your first 5 hitters, Ward, 2 strikeouts. Trout, 3 strikeouts. Soler, 2 strikeouts. Ohapi, 3 strikeouts. Way too often are there games where Mike Trout and Ohapi are both having at least 3 strikeouts. It's really, really concerning, right? And so thank goodness that the bottom of your lineup came through tonight. Shanuel with the big double, Neto with the big double, and Adell goes 3 for 3. But some changes need to be made in the lineup. And this is not just me reacting on one game. We've been saying this for a while, whether it's moving Kyron Paris to the leadoff spot, because at the very least, he's going to give you that speed aspect, whether it's moving Neto into the 2 or 3 hole because he is one of your more consistent hitters, whether it's unfortunately moving Trout down to like 5th or something until he gets back to the old Mike Trout. And I think he's going to get there, right? I'm not ready to, sound the alarms or anything. Trout historically struggles at the beginning of the seasons. I think he's going to be fine, but right now he's struggling. He's striking out way too much, and he's not giving you anything else in terms of nothing in the field. Obviously, he DHs tonight. He's not giving you anything at the bases at this point in his career. He's not even making weak content right now. It's home run or bust for him. And unfortunately, it feels like that for Ohapi as well. He's quietly been awful recently too. So some changes need to be made in the lineup. The good thing is it's a lot easier to make changes after a win and not have it be a big deal. If the lineup looks completely different tomorrow, people aren't going to be talking about that. They're going to be talking about the fact that you're coming off a win. And if you win tomorrow with those changes in the lineup, then Ron Washington, he's going to get called a genius, right? This is how it works in the sports world. So I certainly think it's time to make some changes. I like Adell as a 9 hitter. I know he came through today, but he's still been struggling mightily on the season. I like Adell as kind of that second leadoff. He's going to give you the speed aspect. So when he's on the bases, he can do that. But he also has the ability to go deep or at least get an extra base hit, something you want within the top of your lineup coming up. So I like Adell 9th. I would love to see Neto hitting 2nd or 3rd right away. Just get him in there. And I know we're not going to live in a world where Soler isn't hitting 4th and Trout isn't hitting at least 5th, right? But maybe it's time to move Trout to 5th, move Ohapi to 6th or something, put Neto into 3rd, the 3rd hole or the 2 hole, and see if we can kind of change the vibes there a little bit. But again, it's a lot easier to talk about this when you're coming off a win against a huge team. People like Silent in here going crazy, saying Trout needs to be 9. That's crazy. Eddie saying Mike Trout is washed. We need to calm down. Eddie saying DFA Ward. Jesus Louise. Let's calm down a little bit, right? Vinny, I missed this, but apparently Vinny called the Trout home run, and the only other time anyone has ever called a home run in this chat, it was Vinny. He called Mike Trout's first home run. He said he was going to do it, and he did it. So hopefully Vinny is right. I'm seeing people in here saying that he called the home run. Let's hope he did and that he's right. Jason says, no, Ron won't be called a genius. Yes, I know people like myself have been very critical of him. Okay, Josh is in here straight trolling, saying bring back Rendon. I don't even know why I put that up there, but I think we need to have some changes in the lineup, and I think we need to just celebrate the win because you beat a great team coming off a bunch of losses, and you'll take that no matter what. We will be there no matter what. But with all that being said, we're going to wrap this one up. Shout out to everybody in here. Huge crowd. We know the crowd's always bigger after a win, but still, on a Friday night, you all could be doing better things than listening to a guy like me yap, and yet you're in here. So I appreciate all of you. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, comment, all that good stuff so I can see what you're saying after the show. And you already know I'll be back here after the game tomorrow. It's a Friday and the Angels win. It doesn't get much better than that. Go celebrate the win. I'll see you back here tomorrow night. And as always, go Angels. Take care, everybody.